Looks like Peter got a little bit of that, and appears he's just splashed over me by a couple feet. Silmar, California. Nate Sexton, end of a champion disc. All of you at home that got to pick up your 2017 Tour Series Nate Sexton disc last night at the end of a factory store, he sends his thanks. Hope he puts on a good show today. Going with that massive, sexy two-finger there, Steve. Rolled over on that.
So far, they're leaving a little bit of room. I don't know if Peter McBride went out of bounds on that first shot or not. So nice and early, the door is open for Mr. McBeth.
Nice little Thunderbird shot for Paul up there. Puts him pretty much parked. And then we got our young Simon representing Team Disc Mania. He's definitely dropping big bombs yesterday. I'm sure he's going to play this wind to his advantage today, Steve.
Yeah, Simon's got some good control, good power, especially in a wind.
He's one of those players that's generally fun to watch golf. He's having a great time even when he's not having the best round.
Nate Sexton opts for the roller just to get out. He should be able to go up and down for the bogey from there. Pretty smart play with this headwind. So
it almost appeared that Simon was trying to put it in the basket on the side of the end of a protomobile. Sexton, go ahead, taps that, satchels that four, as I said, Steve, and he's going to head on to hole two. McBeth in with a big birdie. If that's any indication of how that young man's round's going to go today, we're going to see some really good golf out here off this card today.
So after the first hole, McBeth quickly closes the gap. McBeth and McBride are now tied at 14 down.
Steve Dodge, Joe Rotan on the mic, live from Harry Myers Park, Rockwall, Texas. And McBeth with a rifling shot catches that first tree. So he's probably down at the edge of the shul there. Got Simon coming up. Simon Cardin, a 3 on hole 1. Moves into the number 2 position on the pad. And that tree has grown a little bit since yesterday, Steve.
So as we'll see with the women, bouncing off left here puts you in a very difficult position. Just getting up and down from the left side is very difficult. If you're going to do anything, you want to miss far right and give yourself at least a putt into the basket. Peter McBride sets himself up for a very manageable approach. Let's see what Nate Sexton does. He's got a significant tailwind, and he's watched 2 of his 3 competitors hit second tree. That was a significant shot by Nate Sexton. Well done.
So McBeth is going to dress his up shot from down here. Nice little mid-range shot. Skips it right up to the basket. Great.
Paul ran up the hill to see, because that's a really fast green that they're trying to land this on. For example, if this hooks up, and it does not, that's a beautiful shot by Simon Lizotte. Yeah, he really does. And gets around that tree, if he can sit.
Talking about Sexton with that great rollers put himself in the best position as far as drives on this hole. Signature flick up to the basket. It's a little skip away, but these should all be basic putts for these guys at this level. And Simon lining up his putt, Steve, facing a little uphill putt. Not a lot of wind down here. Regular putt. Even though we had a great mix of drives, I think we're going to walk away. Not many changes on this hole. $20-25 there.
To discuss. That was a monster shot, Joe.
That's about 2 of my drives, Steve. So what's this racket we hear about the other cards? You want to wait till these guys tee off? Enjoy Simon's drive yesterday. He pulled a great shot here. Gets it up high in that wind. Doesn't seem very pleased with that, Steve.
Sometimes you can just tell by body language exactly what's going on. I'll say one thing, Jeremy Colling is 6 down through 6 and has moved up to 12th place, which is pretty impressive for Jeremy.
Might we have back-to-back tour stop wins by that young man? Has that happened before on the tour, Steve?
Peter McBride laces one straight down the fairway, straight as a string, right through the thin gap. Well done by Peter McBride. The growing gallery loved that shot. You think Nate Sexton's going to pull out another roller here, Joe?
You know, he might. He's either going to keep it low or he's going to take it up high. But this wind today, I'm not sure what to expect from Nate. Roller on the last hole kind of shocked me. I thought we were going to see the signature flick.
I was actually wondering about that after I saw Simon's shot. This is a very aggressive shot by Nate Sexton. It still ends up left of the fairway, but it was fun to watch. And we're out, and we're on our way to see the...
McBride with his up shot. Puts it well inside the circle to right wind, or right to left wind, excuse me. He threads the needle as well, find himself inside the circle. McBeth heading for his shot. puts it right at the pole. He'll have a drop-in 3 there as well. You could definitely get blown out.
Under normal. Oh! That's what I get for talking. Thank you, Simon Lizotte from downtown. That was about a 65-footer. There was an audible sigh there. Significant headwind. It's the lower part of the top band.
Yeah, he just got out high on that. I'm not sure if the wind played a factor in that or not. McBride with his tap in, McBeth with his tap in, and then Nate will, of course, satchel a 4. And we'll head on to the next hole. Let's go ahead and see how the ladies are doing. You notice how calm the wind has got all of a sudden compared to what the last card played through here, Steve?
I'm going to go so far as to say that you saying that caused the wind to burst up a little bit. McBeth's going up and over.
He's going high over the trees, and he's going to have a great placement in the middle of the fairway. That is perfect. Great drive by McBeth.
How far do you think that throw was, Joe? How difficult is that shot?
That's fairly difficult, Steve. Throwing it that high and traveling about 500 feet. Simon, the big pull over the same way, and that's staying over for him. That could be right. Oh, he caught the tree at the end, or he would have been perfect in the cradle. That is one heck of a drive. That kid can really bomb. McBride next up on the pad. Gets a big pull. This clears his first level of trees. Smart play. So far, these guys are managing the drive on hole 4, Steve.
Yeah, Peter with a smaller arm is still going to have a really good look down that tunnel shot for the chance at eagle if you can pump it all the way in there. Here's Nate Sexton.
Nate going out over the top as well. He seems to have started off a little right. And that is going to be in the woods, Steve. Now let's see how the ladies are doing. Manage that open air up top with this wind.
That is a tough call. I would go low because I play safe.
He's just going to put it right at the mouth of the window. Nice, smart play. McBeth with a good aggressive pull. Oh, and he catches that tree up front, or that would have been about a tap-in 3. He's still got options. To all of that, the trees and the brush area there, Steve, he probably just caught high and dropped in there. So it's not as bad as it looked from the tee.
That is the truth. I assumed he was in a deep, dark, desolate place with a nice out. He's still looking at a good up and down.
Yeah, you're seeing some disciplined play from Nate. He hasn't found himself in the best position cast. He got through the window, a little skip. Simon is adjusting, taking a look at all of his options. As he says, decisions, decisions. But he's got plenty of shots in his bag.
I think I know what Nate Sexton would do. I don't know what Simon will do.
WWNSD. Simon gets it out, catches that tree, makes it get a little new, but he's still right up there where he wants to be. Should be a birdie for sure for this young man.
Joe, so far there's been one eagle today on this hole, and that was by, in fact, Will Shookstrick. So, and I've got some other information, Cup and the Majestic. On the women's side, Hokum won the Silver Cup and Majestic as well, and obviously Paige won the first two events this season.
Shul as he was on his last shot. Caught that tree, got a little new. He's going to go with a little forehand roller. That's going to put him nicely in circle one. So he'll Sexton weighing in his options. Goes up over the top, catches the edge of that tree, but he should be able to clean one. He's looking at about a 30-footer here into the crowd. Bam, that was a nice putt. Nice putt.
I don't know about you, Joe, but it's pretty fun watching one of the best players in the world putt a disc right at you. Peter McBride made an amazing putt, and Paul McBeth did not follow suit. Peter McBride is now winning.
So that breaks up that tie for the moment. Seemed like Paul kind of rushed that putt. For those of you, I'm not sure if you could see it at home, but these guys are literally putting into a crowd of about 100, 150 people. And as I anticipated, Sexton had no problem getting that in to walk with the par. All right. And we're back on hole 5. This hole plays really short, Steve. So I believe it's 200, just over 200 feet.
Simon with a really nice upshot. Looks like he's just outside of circle 1. It's a very tight, short hole. It's a different kind of skill for these guys to show.
Another great shot. This is pretty much a must-get birdie at this point.
I think you're absolutely right. Peter McBride has stepped up, said, I'll take that last birdie, I'll take this birdie. Paul McBeth, if you want to push, now's the time, because I'm not giving up. That's what Peter's saying.
This should be a good round today. Some good competition. And the Guardian trees come into play.
He hit that tree, but he still got just outside circle 1, it looked like.
Got Sexton lining up. Let's see if we can put one down there. He goes with the flick, and he catches the Guardian tree as well. He's well inside circle 1. Nice 2. Nice 2, and Paul is just at the edge of the shul on the right. Should be a basic putt for McBeth. And he'll pick up the 2 as well. Statistics for the folks at home?
Not statistics so much. We've got a little bit of movement, though, for everybody. They can go home and watch this on udisclive.com, or they can download the UDisc app. We just watched Ricky Wysocki birdie hole 7. He's now sitting at 5 down. He's tied with Paul McBeth at 17 down. Peter McBride leads at 18 down.
That was a nice putt. We happened to get caught in that gallery as we were trying to get here, and he probably put in about a 50-footer from there. Pretty crazy angle. Got a good response from the crowd. Here we are back on another one of these shorter wooded holes. These guys could either be shaving some strokes or adding them on.
Peter McBride hit an early tree there. So, open the door a little bit for Paul.
Paul's lining up with a rock shot. So I think these guys are going to be chest bumping a good part of the afternoon, Steve.
I don't know exactly what that means, but I suspect you're right.
Sexton, once again, is just not getting by the trees the way he'd like to. Did get a nice flick off down the Back mid-fairway on hole 6. McBride puts it right up at the base of the target.
It's already not. Sexton's going for the birdie right here.
Sexton with a great run, just skipping off the
Card.
McBeth lining up. Another nice 2 by McBeth. So how does that help your average there with just Paul tapping that one in?
I assume Lizotte's going to get the birdie as well, so we will in fact average 2.5, which is right around the entire average for the group.
All right, well, numbers don't lie. Let's go ahead and hear from a word from our sponsors. Back on fairway 7. It was a great drive by Lizotte. The crowd definitely enjoyed that one.
Now next up is McBeth, who's birdied 5 of the first 6 holes. Just that 120-foot putt is his only mar on the card.
Little Thunderbird shot catches a tree on the left-hand side. I'm not sure how far it went in. You should be still. Have a look at the basket. Oh, and that's an early hit. McBride now has had 2 early hits in 2 holes. Nate gets a nice shot down the middle. Nice skip. Crowd moving. I think he's going to have a good run at the 2 there, Steve. All right, we're back mid-fairway where McBride is straddling out. Gets his second shot off. Nice gentle mid-range shot right to the wood chips up there. It's a good recovery.
Birding again. And it'll be interesting to see if Paul or Nate can get them.
Oh, McBeth with a monster run.
Down through 10 holes and is in 5th place.
Sexton with a little tap-in birdie there. McBride puts it in to save that par from the far right edge of the fairway.
I've got a little interesting story about those little arrows on the UDisc Live app on the next hole.
McBeth tap in 3. Simon's going to have a tap in 2. And we're on to the next hole. Let's go ahead and take a moment and thank our fine sponsors. On the hole 8 Mando, Simon gets around left, puts it right into circle 1. And again at home, if you go a little too far behind the basket or if you go left on this fairway, you are headed into some downhill shul.
That is probably one of the worst places to be near a basket on this course. Simon did a great job taking it out of play. Yesterday, all 4 guys birdied this hole.
Nice. Nate took a nice shot around there and just kind of set it right halfway between circle 1 and the pole target. McBeth next on the pad. Going with the McFlick. Gets around the Mando. Oh, drops it right at the pole. Peter's going to be batting cleanup here on hole 8. All of these players opting for the short flick skip shot to kind of stay away from that mess on the left. All right, we're down on the green and hole 8, McBride about 50 out. Just misses right. Putt. Nate's been fairly hot with the putter this round. It's a couple great runs. He drops it in for a 2, back-to-back 2. So he was feeling that momentum coming out of the valley, Steve.
Absolutely. I had to look for Nate to make a run. That was dead center.
Simon next up. Just kind of putting with a crosswind. Right to left. A little high, but it sticks it. He sticks it right in the old disc catcher target.
Yesterday, Simon birdied holes 2 through 11. He's on pace to do it again today. These guys better watch out because he's about to grab a piece of the lead.
He will creep up and take it. McBride assessing his comeback putt. This will be for the 3. Everyone else on the card is clear with birdie 2s. And it's another day at the office for McBride.
Let's go to our sponsors and see what they had to say.
Let's go. And Simon. Right over our heads. A great looking drive. Ooh, and stops pin high up on the plateau. What a great drive by Simon. Nate Sexton riding the last 2 holes with a birdie up on the pad. Right over our heads as well. And he's about 80 feet from circle 2 with that one. McBeth on the pad, hole 9. Yesterday, as Steve was saying, he drove past this hole and had to come back for the 2. Let's see how he plays it today. Catches a tree on the right side of the fairway, about halfway down. Peter going to address his shot, and he catches the same tree, falls within a couple feet of McBeth's disc. Let's go see what the women are doing now. All right, we're back live on hole 9. McBeth's lies, having him do a knee straddle out on the right side of the fairway. Great shot. Feet in the shul on the right-hand side, has plenty of room to get a shot off. Puts it right at the pole. Great shot, Nate.
What a great touch. What a great touch. He's
just high. Oh, a great putt, and it pops out the back of the target.
I've actually seen a couple of those watching the footage on the ladies' side. On the ladies' side as well. It's heartbreaking.
Simon with a great eagle there. That'll definitely move him up on the leaderboard, on the U-Disc leaderboard. Let's go ahead and take a moment. All right, on hole 10, Simon sizing up this big drive. Yesterday, he took it all the way around, a big turnover shot, air shot, all the way up to the mid-fairway. He did it again today, but he caught a little bit of branch right off the tee. I'm not sure how that worked out for him. Yesterday, he was up around the bend looking really good with that shot. I think he caught a little shag early there, Steve.
It did look like he did, and I don't think that was turning the way he was hoping. Yesterday, all four of these guys birdied this par 4, making it look like mincemeat. Here's Nate Sexton, who's working on 3 birdies in a row.
This hole is broken down into various little shul alleyways. If you look, they've got the route that Simon took. You got the route that Sexton just hit with that roller. Once he makes it through this wall of shul, he'll be out in the second base fairway, and then he'll be able to get up and around. He's about 3 turns away from making the basket.
He's got a pretty accurate roller. He puts a lot of trust in that thing.
He has pulled off a couple nice ones today. McBeth on the pad. Takes it down the middle, catches some foliage on the right. He's still dropped out to where he can get another shot off and possibly get around the corner and still be looking at a 3.
So he clearly reacted negatively. He's struggling right now. The last hole, he actually pulled it to the right as well. There's something to keep an eye on.
McBride with a nice rip down the gut. That'll get him to that second fairway area. Let's see how the ladies handled this hole, Steve. Just like we thought, Steve. He went ahead and threw that flick around the corner, and he got up there. You know, McBeth is about 15 feet up from McBeth, but a little better placement in the fairway. Another good flick, and he's going to skip just past circle 1 and circle 2 and land in circle 1. So these guys are in great position coming around this corner.
They're making these
turns. He goes with the flick, and that might be a little to the right. These athletes can have a good day tomorrow to get their final round in. Simon with just a basic up shot. Crowd really enjoying that. This kid is
all for birdie.
Nice bird, considering how unhappy he was. Sexton. Just came out wrong on that one. You could kind of...
That shot, you just need to recover, make your shots. Your opportunities will come.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. McBride with a nice hit to the heart of the target.
It is a marathon, not a sprint. I will say, however, Simon seems to be sprinting right now.
He does have a little pep in his step. Sexton with the comeback. And this is Simon for his birdie as well.
As we go to our sponsors, Simon's up by 2.
Today he really got a great drive down on this hole. This hole's playing 627 feet. He takes the big Annie route. He's trying to go over the top of everything. Waiting for a word from the crowd up front. Not going to get it. He landed definitely out of our vision, but that was a really nice pull.
I think pretty much everybody in the state can't see that disc at this point.
It's nice to know there's a generation of people that can throw farther than we can see.
You tickle me, Joe.
McBeth lining up his drive. He takes the same route, squeaks that tree. And all these drives so far, Steve, have landed on the left corridor. This fairway splits down there. So they're staying left.
What do you expect Peter to do?
I think he's going to do what you said, just stay low. Yep, he took it right up the gut. Be a very nice placement shot. If that stays out of the trees on the left, then he's got a really nice look at the basket.
Does the fairway
For the upside, it opens up out past the layer of trees in the hallway on the left. Kind of opens up playing to the corner of the property.
We saw James Conrad throwing a shot, which I'm going to guess now was his second shot after he threw up and over and didn't quite make it.
Right, I would imagine Conrad took the same hole that Paul and Simon did. He just dropped off left, and that put him onto our fairway. But he still pulled off a nice shot. Let's see how the ladies handled this hole. He's got a couple trees in front of him before he gets to the open part of the hole. He pulls off a nice flick. Ooh, what a shot by Nate. Fairly wide open shot. It should be drop in 4. He caught that first branch.
You could hear hearts break with that shot right there. We all wanted to see something. Peter's been doing a great job.
In the form of the wrought iron and the barbed wire fence. We saw this get a few players yesterday. He takes a great run at it. Is he going to live up to Steve? Ooh, he still lands inside. Yeah, you can see the storm clouds building overhead here in Rockwall. It's that time of year here in Middle America. And as if you've been watching the news the last...
There's one hole left. He could go to 13 if he birdies hole 18.
McBride ran a little far pass. Not a problem with the putt. He's been making those comebacks today, and that's got to make him feel good.
Yeah, that was a nice bogey save. You definitely don't want the double bogey here. Here's Nate Sexton for birdie.
Yeah, great hole, Nate.
Nate has now birdied 4 of the last 5. And Simon is now 11 down through 11.
All right, well, let's take a moment and visit our sponsors. 12, he's sizing up that big Heiser route. He took this route yesterday and caught a bad skip and ended up about 20 feet OB. Looks like he put it out far enough right today. Crowd loves it. Great skip. Got to remember at home, folks, they've got a OB line all the way down the length of the hole on the left. There's a barbed wire fence about 4 feet in the trees. So these guys are definitely trying to swing it out right.
So another thing you have to remember, Peter McBride set the course record yesterday with a 15 down. If Simon can card this birdie, he'll be 12 down through 12 with 6 to go. Here's Paul McBeth.
Paul attacks down the middle. Another great shot. Crowd definitely enjoyed that shot. Sexton next up.
This is 332 feet. It's playing up probably 15 feet, so it probably plays like 380, and these guys are pumping it like it's nothing. Easy.
Sexton lining up that Heiser route as well. Sexton squeaks by the guardian trees up front. Oh, and he catches the top way down the fairway. Still out in the fairway, I believe. He was worried about that when he let it go. He got by this first tree just fine. McBride coming off that 5 on hole 11. He goes down the middle as well. So we had 2 go big Heiser bomb and 2 straight up the gut. Let's see how the ladies handled this hole.
We'll see if Nate can hit this birdie putt. You know, then birdied 5 of the last 6.
Just got new at the end. What a great run for Sexton, about 70-footer. Another nice putt.
You could see he pushed that a little bit left when he released it, and he knew there was a chance that wasn't going in. And indeed, it missed off left. Another tough break for Paul.
Yep, and Simon steps up with the tap in. And Sexton will clean up that 3. And we'll be off to hole 13.
Simon now has a 3-stroke lead as we go to our sponsors.
Hole 13. Lizotte on the pad. He's playing 222 feet, about 15 foot uphill. Pulls a little bit to the right. He does get some love from the crowd up there, a little closer to the basket, but I'm sure that's not the placement he wanted. McBride coming off that birdie is now stepping up to the number 2 position.
So one interesting statistic as we watch McBride's flight into Circle 1, it looks like Paul McBeth and Simon Lizotte have both had 0 Circle 2 putts so far, attempts or makes. And Paul McBeth has missed 3 putts inside Circle 1. He's also trailing by 3.
I'm sure that doesn't make Paul happy. He takes the high route here. And he drops into Circle 1 as well. Here at the Nick Hyde Memorial, presented by Innova Disc Golf and Heiserbaum. Sexton settles into his groove. Nice little flick shot. That'll play nicely. No one even flirts. Simon with a big putt. And he can be aggressive, Steve, because we've got the tribaloid OB line back behind the McBride from outside of Circle 1. And he doesn't make contact. We've gotten quite used to seeing him drop all these in from this angle and this distance. We got McBeth right at the edge of Circle 1. A little tree in his way. Nice putt.
Was it me, or did he look uncomfortable on that putt?
You know, I think he's just trying to get back into the zone. You know, he's had a couple bad breaks with putting today, staying really humble. I'm sure he's just trying to get back on the horse and keep riding.
Well, we closed the gap to 2. Here's Nate Sexton to pull into a tie with Jeremy Colling.
Yep, Nate with another great putt.
Oh, we got Simon yet.
Simon's going to go ahead and take his meter of tribaloid relief there, get him a little closer to the pin.
And just so we know, Nate Sexton just pulled into a tie with Jeremy Colling to 8th. Simon Lizotte still our leader by 2. And let's see what our sponsors have to say, and then we head on over to 14.
Perfect. We still have McBride here. You're just a little jumping on the gun there, Steve. There he goes. He's back in and out. So now we're going to go ahead and visit our sponsors. McBeth on hole 14. Nice flick shot. Clears the trees. Gets a great skip. He'll be inside Circle 1. As I said yesterday, one cool thing about this hole, Steve, is they can be a little more aggressive on the drive because of the upslope behind the basket leading to the OB. So you can pack one in down there, and it should check up nicely.
It was fun watching Paul be able to be aggressive on that drive and give his skip shot a chance of getting the ace. I bet Nate does the exact same thing.
Nate lining up the flick. He got a little hyzer-ish there. Still got a nice skip, and he'll be, I believe, just outside of Circle 1. Simon's weighing options.
An interesting thing about the last, about hole 13, Nate Sexton was the only person on the lead card that birdied it last round.
Simon taking the route. Oh no, he took the big hyzer bomb route, and I believe he is about 20 feet OB, because keep in mind, Steve, they've got that barbed wire fence running all along the left here again.
I think you're right about that, and Simon perhaps giving away a couple of strokes very quickly.
That was definitely a Simon route, though. He was able to get that up and down. He takes a little off that. That's a great drive. McBride going to take the same route as McBeth and Sexton. Oh, but he catches the tree that they both miss, so tree just in front of him. Smart play. Simon firing from the knee, hits just high.
He is so smooth.
See what Sexton does here. He's locking in on this. He can very easily knock this down. And goes high, goes off the end of a flag. Not happy about that. Now we've got beef on it. No telling how that would have went. All right, so he gets in for a 2.
So interestingly, Nate Sexton sitting at 18 down. Austin Turner is in 4th place right now at 20 down. So, and Peter McBride is at 19 down. If those guys want to stay on the lead card for tomorrow, they've got a little bit of work to do. And Paul McBeth, I think, just tied this thing up in 2 holes, gained 3 strokes.
Yep. Let's go ahead and take a look at the sponsors. McBeth gets one off. He's going out over the trees. He's headed right towards the hyzer bomb Delta Windjammer 5-foot elevated basket. Another nice skip attempt by Paul.
I'll go ahead and say that's a short 5 feet, but a very nice drive by Paul.
Sexton on the tee. He comes off the big hyzer, giving it a great run. Oh, just in front of the elevated basket. Still stays within the number 1 circle. I believe McBride will probably take the same route. He comes out a little wider and catches the tree just to the right of the basket. So he's going to be barely inside of circle 2, Bride. He quickly steps up and just lays up to the pole.
The elevated baskets, this is the first time we've seen them on the Pro Tour events. This is the hyzer bomb Delta Windjammers elevated basket, and Simon Lizotte looks like he's going to make a run at this.
You know, a little bit of trivia for you, Steve. The very first disc golf club that I ever joined as a disc golfer was the Delta Windjammers, based out of beautiful Stockton, California.
Out of consideration with his safe play.
Simon doesn't fear the comeback at all. Can't make him if you don't run him.
Simon took the bogey out of consideration as well. He just did it in Simon style.
So, Steve, do you think we'll see more and more of these elevated baskets that are able to highlight the sponsors of the Disc Golf Pro Tour in years to come?
Right now, we're sitting at 2 of them on the course. We actually, oh my gosh, Nate has another tough putt. We're sitting at 2 of them on the course. This is Paul McBeth for birdie to take sole possession of the lead.
Solid putt. Nice to see.
So Paul McBeth's going to go home and think, I'm in the lead by 1, and I gave away 3 putts. Simon Lizotte's going to think, I gave away 4 strokes on 3 holes. But they're 1-2.
Yeah, though a lot of these guys at this level go back and relive those shots and try to count up where they can make improvements and adjustments for the next. I think if I encounter any more golf ball or cantaloupe size hail in this area, you will see nothing but the rear end of the RV.
I'm going to go ahead and knock on wood and stop talking about the weather, and instead I'm going to concentrate on watching Paul McBeth's amazing drive.
Oh, and he clears the trees.
Did that come out of that?
I don't think it did. I think it caught it, but he's right on the. He would take the spot straight down from there, and he'll still have room to get a throw off.
I think he's probably within 150 of the pin. That was an insane drive.
Now, the pin's still a ways up there. Once you get up around that corner, it's still a little ways, but that was a great drive. That finished out, he'd definitely be at the window.
Well, he's 150 feet of where I'd put the pin.
I would, yeah. I wouldn't count any of these guys out from anywhere in this fairway on this card. That was Sexton. Sexton with the big drive, and now we got McBride stepping to the pad. So far, this card has played more to the right side of the fairway than the second card that we just watched play, where they were all coming to the left side of the fairway.
Wow.
Lots of spin on that disc. Comes down in the hallway as well, just a couple feet off the trees. Crowd enjoyed that.
So Peter demonstrated there that he has got some guns. That kid can throw. All the times that he's been taking the safe, low roots, keeping the disc out of the wind, it's not because he can't throw it far. It's because he's playing safe. And those were two amazing drives at the end by Peter and Simon.
She can do her thing for a few hours. Nate does go up high. I believe that's a pretty good shot. We're hearing claps from up around the circle.
I'm gonna.
Simon lining his up. He's got a pretty good approach to the basket. He takes it out high. He's got plenty of room to get it up there. McBride out high. He needs to come down. He needs to settle. I'm not sure if he caught a tree up there. You probably see it better at home than I. McBeth, once again, all arm on that. Nice shot. Oh, McBride right off the front of the basket from there. That was a pretty solid attempt. McBeth with about a 20-footer from the edge of the wood line. And that's a three. Nice putt by Sexton. A big three there. McBeth with the three as well. This is Simon for his three. And I believe that'll be a tap-in four for McBride. With a great attempt out of the wood line. He'll knock in that four. Let's go ahead and get a word from our sponsors.
Got a new shipment of the Vibram discs coming in there, 7-color granite, printed full color with the Pro Tour second year logo. And here is Paul McBeth's drive.
McBeth gets a nice one off. That'll play nicely. Yeah, Dave and Julie have been doing great printing for years. Disc Stalker over there. You can get the entire Twisted Flower collection there still. I think you can get the Disc or Die collection there. I mean, there's nothing that they can't print on. Great job for them. Nate Sexton. Going with that big roller. Touches down nice. If it's curving up on him, we're going to see the crowd move.
Yep.
Seems to be still going. He gets a clap from the crowd. You can see over the hills, so I think that worked out for him. He's pulled that roller out a few times today, very effectively.
Absolutely. That's 3 of them. I think that one rolled a little late for him, but very effective shot. Simon? The crowd is looking to their left, which is not a good sign.
You see him, Steve, you see him bombing over the PDGA wall here. We want to take a moment for the Disc Golf Pro Tour family to welcome new director Joe Chargaloff, getting the nod from San Antonio, Texas. After many years of service to the country, he plans to put in many years of service for the PDGA, so that's a good thing. And McBride with his rip. And we will see how the ladies played this hole.
Yesterday, Simon eagled this. It's going to be he's able to card the birdie. Very smart play by Simon.
He's going to break one off.
So yesterday, there were a total of 2 eagles on this hole. Looks like Nate saw that a little left. There were 2 eagles total on this hole, and the people that eagled it, I guess we got Paul and Peter, the 2 people left. They can give this a real good look at the eagle.
That's a nice rip.
Which shows that was a pretty significant round he put together yesterday.
His second shot. Tracking nicely.
Oh my.
That is a nice shot. Get a little skip. All right, that was a great upshot. Great upshot. He's down there by the Rex Arm Disc Golf Pro.
Steven at discgolfprotour.com, and we'd love to slap your name on there instead of our logo.
Nice. Shameless sponsorship pitch. McBeth trying to turn over, and I think that wind's going to hold it over for him.
Oh.
He's kind of waving goodbye to it while it flew.
Up and down, he will be 20 under par, and that'll put him in 4th place. If Peter McBride can the eagle, that'll put him 20 down as well and tied for 4th place. Nate Sexton is in very good position, basically from the basket away, and left to right for Paul. And if he gets it up too high, this could do a lot of stuff. Or he could just put it right next to the pin, no worries.
Rex on our basket. As Steve said, this could lock him into a solid tie for 4th, correct? Oh, he got it high enough, just missed to the right.
Which we'll see on the next hole. We didn't make it a Mando at all last year. We've already had it a Mando once this year. And these kind of things we want to introduce slowly, get people used to the idea. I could see this going up another foot next year and settling in at 5 feet. But for an introduction, I think 4 feet's a nice place to put it. Plenty of advertising space, shameless plug. These guys carding the birdies for Peter and Paul, and Simon with the par. Let's hear a word from our sponsors, and then head on over to the Zuka Trust after Nate Sexton hits this putt for what I believe is birdie. And Nate Sexton now with that birdie on the last hole. Oh, Nico Locastro actually birdied hole 18 also, so he's now alone in 21 under par in 4th place. Nate Sexton needs to get the birdie here to again move into a tie for 4th.
He takes it way out wide around the tree. Skips nicely just outside of circle 1. Great drive by Nate Sexton. McBride next on the pad.
Peter McBride sits at 19 down with a birdie here. He could move into 5th place.
He got a great rip there as well. And that'll put him right at the edge of circle 1 as well.
And Simon Lizotte, the only person on this card that birdied hole 18 yesterday. And he could use a birdie now. He's 2 strokes behind Paul. Final hole, round 2.
And he pulls it out right. He's playing with the Keno B-line, but I'm sure he'll hyzer in nicely. Looks like he's about halfway into circle 2 there. So let's see how the ladies handled this hole, Steve.
Outside circle 1 that have made it in the basket. And this is actually one of his few attempts.
That was a great run.
From our perspective,
Simon running by, not able to change. Sexton putting into the crowd. Hey, stat changer.
1 for 3, and instead of putting into the crowd, he put it in the basket. And this is a stat Peter McBride would not like to hear. He's 0 for 7 from circle 2, which probably makes him glad he's just inside circle 1. Where he's 100%.
McBride gets up and down from just inside circle 1, as Steve called. On behalf of everyone here at the Disc Golf Pro Tour, the Nick Hyde Memorial, and of a Champion Disc and Hyzer Bomb, all of the spectators, everyone watching at home, we truly appreciate it. We hope that you can tune in tomorrow and watch the final round here at the Nick Hyde. It will be 5 o'clock Eastern. Make sure and share away. Let everyone know what you'll be watching tomorrow. Everyone have a good night. Stay dry.
Thank you all for watching. Have a good night.